Good evening, everyone. First, sorry for taking away the privilege. It's indeed a privilege. I'm not going to read out this entire thing. It's a little too voluminous. So I'm going to just give you some salient points. Rest of it, or even this, all of us know. Mr. Srinivasan is the Vice Chairman and Managing Director of India Cements and has had more than 4 decades of experience in the industry. With a BSc Tech from Madras University and a post-graduation in chemical engineering from Illinois Institute of Technology, USA. Under his leadership, the India Cements Limited has emerged as the largest cement company in the South. Over the last 2 decades, the spectacular growth and development of the company can be directly traced to Mr. Srinivasan's dynamic leadership and his intuitive knowledge of the market. Mr. Srinivasan has headed various industry bodies and chambers of commerce like Cement Manufacturers Association, Madras Chamber of Commerce, and Industry, and All India Organization of Employers, and several more. Today he is a member of the Executive Committee of the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, that's FICCI. He was the Sheriff of Madras for 2 terms and has been an ardent advocate of the cause of education. In 2009, TiCon honored him with Lifetime Achievement Award, and in 2011, the Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University conferred on him a degree of Doctor of Literature. Sports has always been close to Mr. Srinivasan's heart, and he's been responsible for keeping the sporting tradition alive of India Cements. He supported and continues to support various sports bodies and provides all kinds of assistance in infrastructure support. He has been unanimously re-elected as the President of Tamil Nadu Cricket Association for the 14th consecutive year. He's also a former chairman of the Indian Cricket Council, International Cricket Council, and former president of the BCCI. But undoubtedly, his greatest achievement for the emotional value it holds for us as Chennaiites is the launch of India's most beloved IPL team, the Chennai Super Kings. For the very first time, it was only due to Mr. Srinivasan that a brand from, it says boring Madras, I wouldn't say that, but certainly a brand from Madras went on to capture the imagination of the entire country, making it one of the most valuable sports brands in the country. As they prepare to return to the pitch for IPL 2018, let's welcome Mr. Srinivasan and ask him what really went behind the creation of this iconic sporting brand. I request the President, Anbucharian, to lead Mr. Srinivasan to the podium. Thank you.
But then I was told that the theme is brand building and how from the South an iconic brand was built, etc. I agree, because this is a topic on which I can speak. Not brand building per se, but if it is to talk about brand created, Chennai Super King maybe, yes, that is something on which I can share my experiences, share my thoughts of those days, and where those thoughts reside today. I asked a colleague of mine, what is a brand? He immediately said, brand is intangible. It is the perception in the customer's mind of the attributes of a product or of a product. I remember, before I come to CSE, that the lasting staying power of a great brand. I read in a book sometime back that they were to take 20 of the best brands that were there in the US in 1925. 75 years later, how many were still top? Whether they exist, were they still the top 20? I used to ask this of many people, they give many answers. But the answer is 16 were still, 75 years later, the top brands. 16 of the 20 were still top brands. One of them, who I remember, was Dove. I don't remember the other names now. But this is illustrative of the power of a brand, the lasting impression that a brand makes on you and how long it stays. The same is in your profession, advertising. Many of you have come up with slogans which have stood the test of time. When I was a student in the US, there were these car rental agencies. One called Hertz and one called Avis. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Hertz was number one, and they kept on advertising saying that we are number Hertz, number one, number one, number one. Then one day, the Avis fellows came up with, I think, one of the best slogans. Said Avis, we are number two, but we try harder. This, I remember it now, 50, 60 years later. See, that is the brilliance with which that message was conveyed. All of you have in your own areas niche messages which you have said. But it also emphasizes the importance of your profession, of what you do. Because ultimately, in an economy, you have to produce and sell goods and services. But communicating what is the attribute of a good or a service, I think is what you do and what you do extremely well. And without you, actually, it will be difficult to imagine how, in a competing world, somebody will try to differentiate and get his product sold better than somebody else's. I think that the invaluable service that you do, for which I compliment you. Coming back to our story, sometime in 2008, when the IPL was launched, a lot of discussion took place. I was the treasurer of the BCCI at that time. They said that we will ask people to bid for each city, and the top 8 cities will have the franchise, so on and so forth. Now, I was familiar with having studied in the United States in the 60s, the concept of a franchise-based league, sporting league, was quite familiar to me. I don't know, because it was almost every sport. In fact, I watched the first Super Bowl. Now, so I felt that if Chennai missed out, and basically this is, when we talk of how a brand was built, how did it happen? It is an amalgam of a lot of thoughts over time. We felt that India Cement as a company was a sporting company. I supported sport for a long time. Even from the 50s and 60s, we were supporting cricketers, we were running teams in the league in Chennai. So concern was, what if no one bids for Chennai? Chennai loses out. Because Chennai was one of the most knowledgeable cricket centers. And it's still, I mean, if you will take BCCI, Chennai is one of the permanent test centers. So we said that we should bid. Then what to do? How? We received an invitation from the then chairman of IPL, whether India Cement would bid. So I took this letter and wrote to Mr. Pawar, who was then, Sharad Pawar was then the president of BCCI, and said that we have received this invitation. I am the treasurer of the BCCI, happen to be the managing director and promoter of India Cement. Can India Cement bid? In many of the controversies that people try to surround CSK later, when I was attacked, India Cement was attacked, CSK was attacked. Although everyone knew, the newspapers knew that this story, they chose to ignore it. So when I wrote, I gave a reply back sometime later from Mr. Pawar, saying that I have consulted all my colleagues and there is no bar for India Cement to take the tender and bid for a franchise. So this was a writing for me. So with following due process, disclosing my interest in India Cement, the BCCI was asked by, of course India Cement is a public company, it's a public limited company. It was born the term when India became independent. In fact, it has the privilege of being the first public issue of independent India. So a company of such vintage writes and is told, yes, you can bid. So we bid. And we wanted to bid, we succeeded to win the Chennai franchise. The next day, we had the entire investing public, international public, would all put money in India Cement. The Weapon Arms, they said, why? They thought we were handing over $90 billion across the table. We have to explain that $9 billion per year, at 40, it's 36 crores, we're getting central rights, the money doesn't go out of pocket, we will make money. There were 140 people on the call, but I took an hour to explain all this. The end of it, somebody said, if this is all that profitable, why did you not buy it for yourself? I said, because it's profitable, I thought shareholders of India Cement should get it, not right. So we got the franchise. Then comes the next part. You see, then they said there's an auction, which was new to India. But then, prior to that, we had to get a name for the team. So we went to the public of Chennai, we went to the people of Chennai. We had one advertisement of Srikanth, who was the most popular cricketer from Tamil Nadu, throwing the cricket ball up and asking people to. From the thousands and thousands of suggestions that came, we picked up the Chennai Super King. Then we also had a logo. The logo, of course, reflected us. The lion is the king of the jungle. We intended to be king of this IPL. The competitors should fear us, and we will be like a predator on the prowl. That is the lion, the lion, hungry. So all this was set in place. Then next comes the auction. Now how do we get about the auction? What do we? I had something else to do that day which I couldn't avoid, so I was going to join the auction team just after the first set or second set. So we told the group that was sitting at the auction, at any price MS Dhoni. I think this was one of the, if you look at, if I reflect back from then to now, and arguably, yes, I agree, the CSK is a brand that 2 years it has not played. People dumped on it. I mean, people criticized CSK. They made all kinds of allegations about the management, etc., 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 etc. But still, the people of Chennai, the CSK followers have only grown. I understand there are 12 million followers on Facebook, 3 million on Twitter, and the proof actually is, wherever I go, thanks to Arnab Goswami and gang, and the power of CSK, wherever I go, there is not a single place where people do not, several people don't want to come and say, take a selfie with me, walk on the beach, I get requests. Any place, I go to a temple, I go anywhere. All this is not to me, CSK. So how did we get there? I think the first truly game-changing decision was MS Dhoni. Because the year was 2008. He had won the T20 World Championship in 2007, and he had come from Jharkhand, with all that rural attraction and his own style of play. He was different from the other cricketers. I mean, I let me put it this way. So that was the first step. Then we had a team. We built a nice team around it. And if we take the 8-year period, we entered the semi-finals every year. We entered 5 finals. We won 2. We were runner-up in 3. Of course, this stuff, the runner-up was affected by all the publicity. I was distracted people, I think, to some extent. But we won 5 Fair Play Awards. The track record of the team was outstanding. In fact, as my colleague Rakesh Singh says, the popular concept was everybody was fighting to play CSK in the final, the other side. This is how it was. An aura developed around the team because of its performance, its captain. The city of Madras adopted him. He also adopted the city of Madras. He was so proud. For 2 months he was here. He would roam around the streets of Chennai in the evenings on his motorbike. He used to bring a few of them. He was a bike aficionado. The other day somebody asked him, how many do you have? He said 52. And here he never used the car, whether to go to the stadium or go elsewhere. He was a familiar figure in Chennai on his bike. This was an added attraction. Of course, we had other players. We had superstars in the team, like Brendan McCullum. We had a lot of stars, Indian from outside India. We also developed and made opportunity stars grew, like M. Vijay Ashwin, Mohit Sharma, and others. So it was a team which was vibrant. One of the other, MS Dhoni used to always say, even what I hear, as management, a free hand was, what was the difference? A free hand was no interference. And he also, was a type of cricketer. For example, if it was a 4 o'clock match, he would sleep up at 12 o'clock, 12:30, have lunch, get ready, go down to the team room where everybody will assemble. He will the coach will read out the names of the playing 11. His system will, everybody else goes out. The playing 11 will sit inside. He spends 2 minutes talking to them and they get to the bus and go to the ground. That's it. No great preparation of 1 hour, this calculation, that calculation, this analysis, nothing. You just say everything on the team, in the field. In fact, Gary Kirsten once told me that on the field, the best captain he has ever seen was only MS Dhoni. So this was, so he became, slowly he developed. You see, if you look at CSK, one part of it is the development of MS Dhoni, and then he continued to win other things. When the World Cup, he was excelling. Under him, India won 2007 T20. They won Champions Trophy. They won the 2011 World Cup in India, and the test match for the West testing. There's nothing else to win. He won it all. So this was also building up, he was becoming greater and greater in stature. At the same time, even, and that was drawing more fans. The color yellow, the Tamil anthem, and that whistle Podu song. I mean, that combination also, the Jetli combination, which was attracting people. And I'm told that in 2016, when CSK was not in the final, whistle Podu was trending. So, and also you have to admire that even in team meetings inside, the team always knew. He said, no, the last over 15, 16 runs, don't worry. I mean, the confidence of the man, 15, 16, 17, 18, around, you bring us to that last over, I'll manage, which he did so many times. Starting with that in Dharamshala, when he hit 2 sixes or 3 sixes, when we scored 18, 19 runs in the last over. So the team also felt that we have the big boss who will take care of things. We have to just bring in nearby the last over he will manage, which he did time and time again. He has done. This I think contributed to a large extent to the building. The other aspect which I think occurred to me today is that every player, you take the IPL, most players given a choice, they say, I want to play the CSK. We had 8 franchises, every franchise had their own system of management, their own method of looking after their players, interacting with players, etc. But I think CSK was different. And this was felt by every other player. I think this is important. This is an important ingredient. So you have this word of mouth. You ask any player, ask me, I have met many outside, said, sir, can I come and play for you? Even the biggest Indian cricketers, international cricketers, all of them felt that this was the place to be. When they feel so, they communicate so, the international cricketing community felt so, and that was also, somehow it comes out. At one time, we had in the CSK MS Dhoni captain, Brendan McCullum captain of New Zealand, Pat du Plessis captain of South Africa. There was one more person. But between Bravo, I mean, you had all international captains of stature. Oh, right, this was George Bailey also was with us. He couldn't get into the team to play because the team was so strong. But he was the captain of Australia. We had all these international captains. Obviously, they must have their own pride, ego, and all that. But he was able, I mean, there was a seamless transfer here. They all accepted MS Dhoni's leadership. He was the boss. Whether there was a Matthew Hayden or a Michael Hussey, everybody, or Murli, all of them were quite happy. He was able to bring all of them together. And that reflected in the success, in results, and also the public started to sense, you see, this was the important thing. The public of Tamil Nadu started to sense it. So this, but then the question arises, okay, these are maybe reasons, but when did the CSK become a brand? When did it really become a strong brand? When did it become? A very difficult question to answer because at some point in time, I think the people of Tamil Nadu, followers of CSK kept growing in numbers. People who came to the town, to the ground. Maybe the Tamil anthem, the song Whistle Border, performance of the team, all of it put together at some point in time, which I am not able to define, when suddenly CSK attained a different stature. CSK, according to me, 100 words, was definitely unfairly banned, was not given an opportunity. You can accuse anybody of anything, but not a single player of the CSK was accused of anything. They did nothing, they just played. I think pure jealousy. In our world, it's a tough world we live in. So you got hit, take the hit. But 2 years you're not there. Wherever I go, I sense everybody say they just miss it. They miss the CSK. They want the CSK, and the CSK is not the IPL is not the same. So this is what is the result. This powerful brand, I think a large part of the success or the reason why it has become a brand, of course, is the captain and the story. And I said this at another place, that what do I look forward to? What do I said, of course, if you are from Chennai, if you are a CSK fan, if you are a cricket aficionado, you want to see MS Dhoni lead the CSK out onto the ground in 2018. You want him to go to the Tamil anthem, you want him to walk out wearing yellow. There is every possibility of it happening. 2018, CSK is back. And back with a bang, and hopefully with MS Dhoni leading. So this, the absence from the field for 2 years has not affected the brand, has not in any way lessened the interest in the CSK. In fact, if I can digress just a little, last year we were thinking that for the first time there will be no T20 cricket in Chennai. So we said, why not give something which will, so the cricket-loving public has something, so they get their hand, they get, if not the CSK, what can we do? So we said, why not develop our own league? And that is how the Tamil Nadu Premier League was born. There was opposition, at that time, I was in the opposition in BCCI also. So, the powers that be, they said you must play only with Tamil Nadu players. Even players who are living here, working for nationalized bank, has a ration card, has a voter ID. If he was born in another state, they said, okay, I'll pay. I said, okay, fine. We did not want in the first year any confrontation, we just wanted to launch the GNPL. The broadcaster Star, I must congratulate because they went out of their way to promote this. They did it because they said if you people are running, it will be fair, it will be good, we will also will be a strong stakeholder. And that is how it started. But by the time, when we had the option for the franchises, we found tremendous success, tremendous enthusiasm. And then we said we'll play in Chennai in 2 district centers, one in Chennai where our factory is, the other in Natham, with a nice ground. The combination of playing under lights in rural Tamil Nadu, Star producing and showcasing it brilliantly on TV, choice of commentators from outside, all iconic players, and good quality cricket. The combination of this made, if you were to watch, if you had seen the TNPL at that time, because even in IPL, many people do not know the names of players, because many are foreign, many are, But we look at good cricket, commentary, etc. Here it was the same. And the attendance, the enthusiasm at the venue was fantastic. It was not a, we don't know how we thought of it, but having thought of it, I tell you today, you take rural India. First, of course, I would attribute many of them not seen lights. Many of them are not seen a game played under lights. So it was like also a festival. People flocked to the venue. Every venue there were people waiting for tickets outside. They couldn't get in because the venues were not that great. But all the stands were full. Right there, Chepauk, leaving the famous 3 stands, which is the hallmark of Chennai. And all the other stands were completely full for the final. The final of the TNPL last year was standing room. We couldn't get a ticket. I take it that it was, they liked what was presented. The TNPL has become a brand, really. It got, it's, the TRPs were good. Broadcaster was very happy, spectators were very happy. But deep down in my mind, I also feel it's because people miss the CSK. A lot of it also stemmed, I think, from the fact that in a different way, they were saying CSK will miss you. This is how I've taken it, but the TNPL itself is a brand. This year it will become even bigger. So one of the themes was how to build a brand. I think you don't set out to build a brand. If you, in both cases, the idea was not to build a brand. We started out with something, we wanted to make something more exciting, present it well, make people enjoy it, but the fundamental thought was we should provide good cricket to the people of Chennai. That is where we started, And I think that theme has clicked in the case of the CSK and also I think in the case of the Tamil Nadu Premier League. The success of the TNPL is boys who played there have played and led Tamil Nadu to the Deodar Trophy win, to win the Vijay Hazare Trophy. The Deodar Trophy is particularly special because here we are playing against India blue and India red. Cricketers from all over India who are just in the fringe of test or are also playing for India against a state team. The first time a state team has won this. I think outstanding. A former test cricketer who is an administrator now in the south, he told the secretary of TNC, Kasi, as you know, that Kasi, all this is because of your TNPL. This has transformed the cricket in your state. I think he said something which is very deep, but actually it has. In the Vijay Hazare Trophy as well as the confidence with which these people played. And in the finally, 5 or 6 of our top players were not there. There was no Vijay, there was no Ashwin. But all the others were able to, the teamwork got together. So I think the GNPL is if it is as a brand, it has done well. It has done even greater things for cricket itself in Jammu. And I think that is something all of us are extremely proud of. So, ultimately, I want to close by saying that in our experience, we have been associated with, even in our business, with Shankar and Parmal, two very good brands in cement. The CSK, the GNPL. In all these things, we just started to give a good product. And we put all the proper ingredients, that's a good chance to become a great brand. Thank you. Answer. I'm supposed to. Is there a question?